Hey Whiskey Tube, welcome to another episode of the DBS Tasting Room. Today we're going to be exploring our top 2 under 2.
Top 2 under 2, what exactly do you mean?
I think we just take our top bottles that we are fans of at the moment, everyone's palate changes, and our top bottles that are under $200 that we just go to on a regular basis that we absolutely love.
Okay, I like it. I think this works then. We pretty much have our bottles down.
Yep.
Do you want to start?
I'm not confident, but I'm confident. So I'm both. But
I'm confident on my bottles. How about
yeah,
that?
I couldn't dwindle mine down well enough. But I actually, you know what? I'm really happy with these choices because I go for them all the time.
Sure.
So yeah, I got the Stag Junior, in particular the Batch 15, and the Elijah Craig and the model or expression, the version. I don't know how to explain which one that is.
Yeah.
But the B520 is my absolute favorite iteration.
Do they call it batch? Or I don't know if they go that route.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
but the B520 is my favorite.
B520 sounds like an airplane.
Yeah.
I don't know if that really is an airplane.
No, but well, I guess I can explain what that is. They just have 3 releases a year, so they'll have A, B, and C, and then the first number actually indicates what month it's released in. So this one would be B, their second release. Yep. 5 is indicates May, and then 20 is the year. So this was actually released in May of 2020.
Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I think this one is my favorite too from the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof line. At least in regards to the other 3 because we have all of them. I mean, we have the entire lineup. I don't know what we tried at our last event.
The C920.
The C920. It was good.
Yeah, this one is my favorite overall, nose to finish, all the way across the board. The C920 that we tried has my favorite nose. But yeah, I have the A121, the A120, and I think I have a B15.
So what's your cost here on these then?
So this guy I got for $80. I have a few Stag Juniors. It averages out to about $80 if I average out all the totals. But for whatever reason, the Stag Juniors have kind of gone up in price quite a bit because there's been a lot of positive comparison with that and its dad, I guess, the George T. Stag.
George T. Stag.
This is a junior, right?
This is junior.
Sure. His father would be more formal, but the George T.
Senior.
Stag is really, really hard to come by. So this one you're going to see anywhere from $150 to really $250, $300 at this point. But I was lucky enough to get a few bottles before the price increases.
The craze.
So yeah, $80 and $80.
So you're under 200.
So technically total, I'm under
200.
200.
Mine is not that close. Actually, mine's way off from that, but that's okay. I'll do mine and then we'll jump into yours.
But you follow the criteria.
I did follow the criteria.
Yep.
So I have 2. I think one of them is extremely unique in regards to finding it at least. But this Edredor 2008, this is a 12th or 12th? No, I don't even think they have the year on it. It's done in 2008, so they don't actually print the state age statement on it. So you can call it an NAS, but it's the 12-year, 13-year.
Okay. It's delicious.
It's a cast strength. Right, it's delicious. It is fantastic, actually. It's cast strength from Edredor. At one point, they were touted as the smallest distillery in Scotland. Don't believe they are anymore, but I'd have to double check on that. And there are some other distilleries that have popped up that are produce less. Obviously, if they make a good product, they're not going to be the smallest distillery for very long. So they aren't, but they make a great product. You can find some of their expression lines here in the U.S. However, this one specifically we bought from Whiskey Exchange, so we had to have it shipped directly from Scotland, which brings the price up a little bit. I want to say this one's about $129, and then at the point, the very first time I bought this, I had to pay a tariff, so it was like almost $200 because total. Not anymore. The tariff is gone right now, and this is July of 2021. So if you want to buy them, go now on Whiskey Exchange and buy it. Buy any bottles.
No
that
tariff.
are
That's a value.
No tariff. It's a good because shipping is way more reasonable. And then the other bottle is a staple that you should be able to find at most liquor stores. Is the Balvenie 15. Their sherry. This is a fantastic bottle.
It's a great everyday pour.
In the 150 to 160 range. So mine together are clearly above 200. However, individually they are under that $200 mark. So I think I did the 2 for 2, right?
You fit it.
Yeah,
100%.
I think it's good. Let's pour something. What do you want to jump into?
Actually, I want to do the Balvenie.
Balvenie?
Balvenie 15.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll jump into it.
Right when you said the sherry, I was like, you know what? We can go for a little sherry.
Some sherry in the morning. or is it the morning anymore? This is me.
It's getting closer to lunch.
Yeah, right. Shh, don't say anything to anyone, Donnie.
We take late lunches.
Is that too
it's
much?
like 4 o'clock.
No, that's not that bad. Late lunch, but 4 o'clock. I know, right? So we would talk about this Balvenie. This is their single barrel sherry cask, and it is, I want to say 47.8%. Sorry, 57 is way too high on this one. This one is significantly higher. This is 57. That's why I got that 47. So you're looking at a 10% incremental change in ABV. But they're both pretty high in regards to its proof.
Scotch.
Yeah. So cheers.
Cheers.
Let's jump into it, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sherry.
Right away. Balvenie has that classic dark chocolate covered cherry, punch. And this sherry cask it's got some ethanol too in there.
Right away. It's surprisingly enough, this is by far the lowest proof of the four bottles we have here, and I'm actually curious to try one of the next ones to see if it's the same thing. But I think that's going to be the biggest punch.
This one I think does. This
maybe unless we go to the Stag Junior, that one might. Yeah,
it does have a punch. At least has a punch on the nose. The palate though, this palate's going to be a little bit lighter on it. I can guarantee. Well, I mean, I just know because this is one of my favorites. It's from Balvenie.
Yeah,
but.
Yeah, like the chocolate, the cherry.
It's pretty good. I'm gonna jump in. So the nose is chocolate cherry, a little nutty. Definitely sherry for sure. The color's gorgeous dark amber. A little bit lighter in this, but the bottle itself has got a fantastic color. Actually, all of these are good. I'm gonna jump in on this.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Beat around the bush here.
Oh, that's extremely light.
Yeah. How crazy.
Kind of like swishing around, chew it a little bit, but it's just flowing around like mouthwash.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's not hot at all. There's on the palate. It's very clean on the palate, but it's got a it's got a nice finish actually. Like it's still sitting there, still kind of in my in the palate there. You're gonna get the same thing on the palate that you get on the nose.
Carries over.
It's cherry, it's chocolate, nutty. Those are probably three of the most pronounced flavors. A little bit of wood on the tail end here. What do you think?
I just sidestepped for a minute. I'm thinking, why isn't there a whiskey mouthwash? I was just saying, switch around like mouthwash. Why isn't there a whiskey?
Go back to that. I don't know if well, I would use it.
I would use it.
But what does it smell like to the other person? The other you, because you get
mouthwash. Like, it's just the taste.
Well, listen, mouthwash is not for you. Mouthwash is for other people, right? I mean, mouthwash is to keep to keep it clean and get for that kind of thing and get rid of germs. However, to do it, it's so your breath doesn't smell bad. This is like
it's
smell
your
like
nighttime
whiskey.
Shower mouthwash.
It's the go to bed mouth. It's the nightcap mouthwash.
There we go. DBS edition.
So I got a good idea.
Coming soon.
Why don't you just do that with whiskey instead? That is your nightcap, and you just mouthwash it, and then you just drink it.
Yes.
And go to sleep.
You can definitely do that. But for the days off.
Listen, on the high proof stuff, I'm sure it's killing some germs anyway.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
But alcohol is doing its job already.
Yeah. Sorry for the sidestep.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, the palate. Yeah,
I definitely get a lot of like light peanut almond on the profile, and almost a little leather, like strapped leather, but not. Yeah. It's not beating you up with it. It's not like a very punchy in the flavor profile. Yeah. It's very much
You're
nice.
Selling me on that. I could see that kind of going in between the palate and finish. A little bit of the nutty to the leather side. But subtle.
Very subtle.
Very subtle.
This is what interests me and really excites me when it comes to whiskeys like this. When you have some really interesting flavor profiles and you're sitting at a really good age, so 15 years is kind of like a nice sweet spot, but done in sherry like this one is too, you're gonna get a ton of stuff happening that's deeper into the profile than you might not pick up on your initial taste or your initial smell or your initial finish, and that's just kind of how I look at it. But this one's great, man. This is a good bottle. This is why it's on there. It's on my under 2. Yeah. It's there are plenty of bottles that we could have selected, but Balvenie is I think collectively it's one of our top 3, top 4 Scotch distilleries as a group.
Yeah,
right.
It's in my top 2
right now. I mean, in fact, just so so everyone knows, our July event, which should be airing technically, this episode will be airing during that
event.
During that event.
Yeah.
So. We are not trying this one, but we have 4 expressions. It's going to be.
This is our best event yet.
This is our best event
one.
yet. Well, we hope. We've only had one of the. We've only tried one of the expressions.
These are established, tried and true. I'm going in confident. I'm going to be the optimist. This is going to be.
It's going to be events. It's definitely our most expensive tasting event. We'll give it that. But we'll just do a real quick little. We'll nod to it. We're doing, since it's pertinent to the weekend. It's a Balvenie versus Glenfiddich Sister Distillery showdown.
Yeah.
So they are owned by the same company, obviously, but they are sister distilleries. So you can talk about things like that. Their profiles are completely different. They don't match at all. You would never know that they're, that they share that hierarchy. However, we are doing the Balvenie 21 Portwood versus, I think we decided to do the Glenfiddich 23 Grand Cru.
Yep.
So 21 Portwood versus the Glenfiddich 23 Grand Cru. And then on the opposite end of that one is the Balvenie 15-ton 1509 Batch 7,
yep.
which is their cask strength. And I'm so excited to try that bottle. We've had the Balvenie 21, by the way. Have not had the Grand Cru. However, the batch, the 1509 ton versus Glenfiddich 21 Grand Reserve.
Yep.
Grand Reserve.
I know the Grand Cru it's got its work cut out for it because the Balvenie 21 Portwood is in my top 2 favorite scotches.
It would have been here, but it's too expensive.
Yeah,
to be under 200. It would have trumped the 15. And I love the 15. Yeah. In the rules for what we said, top 202, it's over $200, so it's not going to fit.
So the Grand Cru, and I haven't had the Grand Cru, I haven't had the ton, and or the 21, right?
We've I can say as a group, the majority of us have only had the Portwood, but because that was a bottle that I had that we've been sharing.
Yeah.
And now we have it's in our DBS Reserve Vault. So
that's a little behind the scenes because when we start raising our ranges for bottle picks in certain price ranges, you'll probably start seeing some of the bottles we just mentioned in future videos.
Yeah. We'll be tasting them in future videos, and we'll be giving deep reviews. And follow us on Instagram if you don't. It's just DBS. Dram Bell Society. I think it's at Dram Bell Society. So take a look at our Instagram. We'll put it up on the thing if you haven't already. I'm sure you have if you're on watching the YouTube or listening to the podcast.
You got to see the packaging on these things. It's pretty incredible the presentations they're putting out.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're beautiful bottles. In fact, I want to say 2 of them are sitting right here.
Yeah, right. Somewhere right there. Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to see though. Not that.
Not unless you're watching it on the big screen.
People are listening. So I'd say, listen. We'll go back to this, and this is, again, one of the reasons this is in my top 2 for 202, is it definitely fits and hits all the notes that you might want in a sherry scotch that's got a long maturation. It's got some uniqueness. Like I said, the uniqueness and the depth of flavor is really, really nice on this Balvenie 21. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, $150, which can be pricey, but listen, under 2, that's the rule. Boom.
$150, readily available, sherry, easy to drink, easy to share. Finish for me is medium. It's oily, kind of mouth coating to start, dries out a little bit for me, but not dry. No, It just transitions a little bit for me, but it's kind of perfect whiskey to share if you want to do something a little bit more higher end for a guest, but not quite the 21 or.
Yeah, it's under that. It's not a daily sipper unless it's maybe yours and you really enjoy it. It may be mine, but I wouldn't bring this out for everyone. A little expensive. So.
Yeah, it definitely adds up. This is definitely, for me, this is a buy because it's on my list to buy, so it's definitely a buy.
It's a buy.
Yeah.
Both are, by the way. So.
Yep.
All right, Donnie, let's jump into something that you brought.
I want to do, since this is my just all-time favorite bottle.
Let's do it.
I'm going to go with the 520 here.
So the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, which we did, again, try at our last bourbon tasting. Thank you. However, it was a different batch, so we'll say it's batch. I think they call it batch, so we can do that. I know it's different though because batch is the terminology is a little different in that world. However, we did do the C920 batch.
Yeah, this one's sitting at 127.2 proof. It's a 12-year, which they don't put on the front. Oddly enough, they put it right here on the side, but it's a 12-year-old bourbon.
Which is funny because age is a huge thing, but I guess in the bourbon world it's a little different.
Yeah, the age statement, they're not big on it. The bourbon, it's also fresh barrels, so it's easier to pull wood. The temperature changes out here. The flavors come soak in a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But this one, it's just, like I said, it's my favorite bottle, my favorite version, iteration, whatever you want to call it. And to me, it's also the best value you can get in whiskey across the board.
It's a great
in my
bottle.
opinion.
It's a great bottle.
Because it's offering the mouthfeel, it's offering the heat. If you want to, water drop it down, put it over ice, drink it neat. However you want to take it, this thing's going to deliver for you. But
cheers.
I kind of want to revisit this.
Yeah, let's go. I haven't had it in a while. Oh yeah.
Oh, the Elijah Craig, the nose. I mean, it's standard bourbon notes, but so amplified that you're getting all of those burnt brown sugars. You're getting the caramel. Not even as much as vanilla as I normally get on them, but
I get more burnt.
That's there as well.
I get more burnt sugar. I get mostly hit with the burnt sugar. I actually get a little wood on this one too.
Yeah, it's got like a sweet oak to it.
Yeah,
though.
it's sweet oak, and it's very interesting because it's on the nose, not in the palate quite yet. I mean, we'll jump into it after that. But again, I go back to bourbon, and for me, I always get the sour. And by sour, I just mean the fermented, the mat. I get the mat. I get the
grainy,
the
right?
grain. Yeah, I'm getting the corn basically. What was
Well,
you're
such
getting
a
at.
high,
It's just bourbon. I get it with every bourbon. It's just the one thing that hits me up front is that raw material.
Most all bourbons are over 70% corn in the mash bill.
Yeah, and so you're gonna get it. Well, I mean, it's funny because I don't get it as much with certain scotches. I can get it with some Islay stuff. That there's a lot of hay, and you get that really salty finish. However, and they're all it's all barley, 100% barley. Yeah. So, but corn just has a different flavor profile. I love it though. The nose is so inviting here.
What's weird though too is if you give this a little swirl, make it dizzy, you can get a little ethanol punch to it.
But it's totally different. We talked about these two, right? This is way more ethanol on the nose.
Yep. Then
and
which is weird.
Extremely large difference in proof.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just
cheers. Let's get into it. Sorry, you were going to say something. I apologize.
I couldn't help myself. I was just going to go right into it. But I like this one. I mean, oh my gosh, this is so good. I like this one so much that I think I kind of went over the versions that I have right now, but I think I have like 5 barrel proofs at this point. And I'm drinking the other ones just so this one lasts longer. So I'll sip a little bit of it. I love this one.
Wait, are you talking about the Elijah Craig's?
The Elijah Craig 520.
That specific one.
That bottle. I'm definitely drinking. The 821's growing on me, but this is just a little bit of a caramel bomb for me. I get a lot of caramel on this.
So this one is, and I'm gonna bring this up, and this is most people are gonna pull this out. There is much more ethanol and heat on the palate here than there is here. However, much less ethanol on the nose than there is here, and you're talking about almost a 20%.
This is 124
in ABV, right? 47.8, and then so. It's a big jump, guys. I mean, I don't know. It's amazing to me. However, the punch is very nice on this.
It's the overused term, but I still love it. That Kentucky hug. It just warms you. It sits right. Oh my goodness.
It coats your mouth very well. It's extremely oily in a good way. This has got a sweet finish for me. Not very dry. This one was a medium to medium long with a drier end, but a sweet kind of beginning. This one is definitely a little bit more, for me, it's a little bit more sweet throughout.
Yeah, this is a long finish for me. This one just kind of hangs out, coats the tongue. I'm still kind of gathering flavors. A little bit of the nuttiness comes out to me in the transition from the 100%. Palate to the finish. I mean, like I said, it's not crazy flavors. As far as just across the spectrum, but the flavors that it delivers, on point. I
definitely get. There's a little bit of honey here on the palate as well that I didn't get quite on the nose, but this one is definitely brown sugar, molasses, but there's some sugar there for 100%. That carries over to the finish very well. This is a great pour. It's a good bottle. So, and again, this one you can get for under 100 if you find it at the right place. So Donnie, sat well within his 200.
Yeah, you figure what 160 for both. So
I think he beat mine in regards to price. All right, everyone. I think we should cheers.
We should.
Yeah. So let's grab your glass. Cheers to you. Cheers to you.
And from the Dram Bell Society, may you enjoy your dram 1 grain at a time.